A lone school compound, empty classrooms and dilapidated facilities greet you upon reaching Marinin Secondary School. In the lush and expansive plantations that are the James Finlay Tea Estates, the school is home to about 200 students. 4 years ago, the school admitted 25 girls to Form 1, but only one will be sitting the national examinations this year. The rest are pregnant. It hasn't always been a lonely affair for Edith Chemutai. She says their life was one full of hope and promise as they began their 4-year journey through secondary school in 2006.
Kwa Form 1, mmoja alianza kudrop, alafu hiyo ilikuwa second term. Alafu kidogo mwingine tena akaacha shule akaenda akaolewa. Venye tuliingia Form 2 pia wengine wakaanza kudrop hivyo hivyo.
Many of the girls are lured by tea workers.
The rate of the dropout of girls is alarming. And the reasons they give are basically they come from long distance, maybe up to 4 kilometers through the tea plantations.
At the St. Mary's Secondary School in Narok, same story, different cast. Only this time, the girls at St. Mary's Secondary School had a second chance. Mary is looking forward to sitting the national examinations later in the year. Her life has come full circle, she says. 16 and pregnant, she was faced with what she terms as incredibly adult responsibilities and opted to drop out of school when she was in Form 2. A year later, her desire to pursue her childhood dream of becoming a doctor saw her back in school.
Niliwili sana kurudi shule, na hata pia wazazi wangu walinisupport nikarudi shule. Nimeona masomo tu ndio itaweza nisaidia.
St. Mary's, a Catholic school, is one of the schools that readmit teenage mothers or recommends transfers to other schools. In some cases, however, the parents and their daughters shy away from seeking readmission for fear of stigmatization.
Most of them are not very willing to come back to the same school. So those who are not willing, mostly we give them a transfer letter and we recommend that they be admitted in other schools.
Unlike St. Mary's Secondary, some schools may opt to expel young girls when they become pregnant. Such girls are usually left with little options of furthering their studies. The Ministry of Education, however, has a policy on the readmission of teenage mothers to school. One the Permanent Secretary says is available to head teachers, school boards and the district education officers.
You cannot deny a child the basic right. And therefore, whether a child has been pregnant or not, that is not consideration in admission.
Pregnancy is not one of the considerations for denying admission to Kenyan schools, at least not on paper, according to the Education Permanent Secretary. The ministry's gender policy guidelines require schools to keep in touch with the teenage mother and her parents in order to provide the necessary moral, emotional and spiritual support. But that is in theory. In practice, the Center for the Study of Adolescence says implementation of the guidelines has not been effective. In a report, the center says most institutions are unaware that such a policy exists, while others simply do not bother to implement it.
Well, since 2004, since this policy was put in place, a lot more schools out there are aware of the policy, but the actual implementation actually remains a challenge. So there are people who know, who appreciate that the policy can contribute towards bringing back children to school, but in actual effect are not implementing the policy as it was designed to be implemented.
It depends on the initiative of the school committee, members of the school committee and the PTA to participate. If they don't want to participate in the hunt for the children, it will not work.
With more than 10,000 girls dropping out of school each year due to teenage pregnancy, there is clear need for better policing to ensure the policy guidelines are implemented. Salim Bilu for Sunday Live.